Yes, this is a shameless plug for my book. What is up, guys? TJ here with another episode. Today we're going to be talking about the book that I wrote, which is The Audacity of Influence, available on Amazon. And I'm going to be telling you how you can publish your book. If you want to be a self-publisher, if you want to make a book and you don't know where to get started, I'm going to take you to the computer. I'm going to show you exactly how that process works. It's not very hard. The hardest part, obviously, is going to be writing the book. But, actually the process of getting the book to Amazon or to KDP, that's what I use. It's not that hard. I'm going to show you the Fiverr deal that I use to create my cover. You can create your cover yourself, but if you're not like a graphic designer, you really want somebody that is proficient with creating book covers, because I tried to create my book cover the first time, and I'm not a graphic artist, and the concept of it was great, but whenever I got the first copy, it was not great. So you want to make sure that you hire somebody that knows what they're talking about. I think I paid like $100 for somebody to design my cover, and they did a really awesome job. I told them, the concept of what I wanted. They kind of had some pictures that I was able to choose from, and then they kind of edited that to kind of mesh all those pictures together to get the idea and the feel of what I wanted. So I want to talk just real quick about what my book is about. So this book is about being influential, and not necessarily in the sense of being a social media influencer or being an influencer online or different things like that. It's really about having a positive impact in the world. It's really about spreading your influence to people and influencing their behaviors just in a positive way. A lot of times we do this just like subconsciously. We don't necessarily mean to influence people. We don't necessarily, try to trick people into doing things or try to make people think a certain type of way. But if we do have really cool ideologies and really cool aspects about ourselves, that does in turn influence people. So one of my biggest things in life is that I always want to be a positive influence to anybody that I interact with, whether that's through my YouTube videos, whether that's something online, whether that's at work. I always try to be as positive as I can to people, and people really feed off that. People really like that about me. Sometimes, that's a detriment to me, because I always feel like I do have to be that person because some people look up to that, and some people need that extra support. And I'm not always just a super nice guy, and I'm not always happy because I definitely do have like some sad days and different things like that. But I always try to think about sacrificing my thoughts and my feelings to be a positive impact on somebody else. So this book is just really about empowering you to be influential, to be your best self, and understanding how we influence people without even trying to, without even having knowledge of doing that. You are just an influence to anybody that you come in contact with normally on a daily basis. So that's all for my promo for my book. If you want to check it out, it is available on Amazon. I will put a link to it in the description section below, as well as the first comment. Now let's get into the computer, and I'm going to show you how to do all those things that I said at the beginning of the video. All right, so this is where I kind of started out. So whenever I planned to write my book, what I did first was wrote out an outline. So I just thought about what I wanted my book to actually be. So I came up with the title of the book, the introduction, what I'm going to talk about during the introduction, and this is what I would do. So I defined influence, and then gave a brief introduction about being an influencer. Now, I did also go through and I said, how many chapters I wanted. I didn't want this book to be like super long, because I have a very short attention span. So no, I can't read like a 1,000-page book. I can't do it. So I don't expect my readers to be able to read a 1,000-page book unless you are just a prolific reader and you really like to read. So I said this is going to be 6 chapters max. And I went through and thought about the progression of what I wanted the book to be. So I went through and I said, okay, The first chapter is going to be Influence is a Lie, where we kind of talk about how you can influence people without being a liar or trying to manipulate them in any kind of negative way. And I went through and I put bullet points up to kind of drive home my main topic. So I put in like some personal stories, kind of thought about what I would put in into the book, but I would elaborate on it more so when I started writing. And coming up with the outline is very important, because if you start writing a book and you just start going chapter by chapter, sometimes you don't have a roadmap, so you don't know where you're going to go, and sometimes you can go like astray, and then you start talking about something completely different than what the original intent of the book was about. So you really have to have just like a roadmap. Okay, you want to hit this point, then you want to move on to this point, then you want to move on to this point. That way your book has a solid flow. So I went through and I kind of put in what I wanted the overall chapter to be about. So I went and I kind of just put some bullet points on to make sure that whenever I go back and proofread the book, I actually know what the chapter was supposed to be about, the beginning. And I had to go back and change some stuff because I did kind of veer off, and I had to kind of steer myself back. So chapter 2 was the trifecta, and I kind of talked about being self-aware, getting buy-in from others, and fostering relationships between people, because I think that is very important when you are an influential person. The next one I talked about, self-awareness is a gift. So just talk about being self-aware, understanding who you are, how you are, and different things like that. And I put some personal experiences in there. That way I was consistent when I put those stories in there, to make sure that they, jive well with the book. The fourth chapter I talked about buy-in. I really dove deep into what that actually means to get buy-in from people, to get buy-in on your ideas, and how you don't really have to be flamboyant with your ideas to get other people buy in. They should just be that good that people just want to do them. That's one of the big things about being influential. The fifth chapter is about building trust, and they will come. So basically, talked about how you can build trust within people, and then more people will want to be around you. If you are a trustworthy person, people will just enjoy being around you. People will enjoy your positivity. People will be more apt to listen to your ideas and different things like that. So talked about that, chapter 5. Chapter 6, I kind of just talked about the overall, okay, these are all the things that I believe that builds a truly influential person. And then chapter 6 is about kind of stepping out on a limb and being an influence on people, and not being afraid of your influence, really thinking about how you can positively impact somebody based upon your life experiences. How you can help someone, how you can build them up, how you can get them to be engaged with their community, be engaged with their workforce, whether you're a manager, whether you're a supervisor, whether you are a worker, how you can build that trust, and how you can use those tools to positively impact those around you. So basically that's what the chapter 6 was, kind of a sum up of everything. Then I did a conclusion chapter where I talked about just kind of everything I talked about in the book, and then closing it out on kind of posing the question, how will you become an influence, a positive influence on people in your life, and then looking back at your life and thinking about if you have been positively influencing people or if you've been negatively influencing people. So basically you want to make sure that you write out an outline first. That's kind of what I kind of went off on a little bit of a rant. But you really have to think about where you want to start your book and where you want to end your book. That's what what that is about. Also, it'll help you with your table of contents. So if you go on to kdp.amazon.com, this is where you can do your direct publishing, and you can go here and you can create a book. Now, I'm not going to go and start one from scratch because I have to type in all the information, but what I will do is I'm going to click on this because I am configuring my ebook. I'm not done with it yet, because with your ebook and your regular book, you have two kind of different, you have the same stuff, but you have a couple different things you have to do. Your cover has to be meet a couple different specs and different things like that. So I'm working through those issues, and I'm trying to get my the ebook out now. So you can go in here. Let's see, we'll just click on it and I'll show you kind of what the menu looks like. So the first thing it's going to ask you is your book title. You put that in, your subtitle, if it is a series, what the series name is, what the series number is. If there are multiple editions of this book, you can put that here. You can put your author name, whether you're using your name or you're using a like a ghostwriting name. You can put that here. If anybody contributed to your book, you can put that here. The description of your book. Now, if you're not the most prolific writer when it comes to writing a book, you can't get ghostwriters. You can't get people to really optimize your Amazon, essentially your Amazon listing, so that it has the correct SEO and different things like that. And I would suggest you doing that through Fiverr if you are needing help with that. The next thing they ask you for is your publishing rights, saying you own the rights to this book that you're about to be putting out. You can put your input of your keywords. Choose these wisely, because these words are how people are going to find your book on Amazon. You can choose your categories. It's very important to do that. If this is a children's book, you have to put the age range and different things like that. And you can say your book is available for pre-order, or you can release the book right now. So we'll save and continue since I've already typed all that information in. Now the next page is really the meat and potatoes of publishing the book. So the first thing they're going to want is your manuscript. So when you're writing out your book, you need to make sure that you get the Kindle ebook template. That's where you want to type your manuscript on. So I made the mistake of typing out my manuscript in Word without the template. So I have to go back in and kind of do that. But you want to make sure that you have the correct format and the correct font and the correct everything in order to make to import your manuscript, because this can be a big hang up right here. So if you want to, you can download you can download it from here. You can download a template from here. You click on that, download it, and then type in your stuff. Now, if you've already typed it in Word, all you gotta do is copy and paste it over, and then kind of reformat it to be in exactly what they want. So they do ask you to have it in a doc, HTML, MOBI, EPUB, RTF, plain text, or KPF format. Now, if you are doing a actual book, like a hardcover or softcover book, they do recommend it being in a PDF format. So this is the next part. You have to put in your ebook cover. You can look at the guidelines. I could click on that just to show you. But they have different file types that you can do, and they really want you to maintain the format that they have. So they actually do have a creator for your cover. If you want to, you can click on that, and it will help you create your cover. But like I said, your cover is not going to be as good if you're not like a graphic designer. You want people to see the book and want to grab it off the shelf. So this is what I recommend. Go to Fiverr, and I'm going to put this deal in the description section below. So this is a person that will design your book cover for $10. I got the premium. It was $30. And look at these covers. I mean, these are very, very good covers. I could not have made these covers up on my own. So this person is really good, and they give you like a 3D mock-up that's really good for like social media and different things like that to promote your book. But I mean, you can't beat this for $30, and they do really, really good work. And for $30, you can't beat that to have a book that will really grab your readers. So I highly suggest doing that. Anyway, you tell them that you're going to do a Kindle ebook. You give them the dimensions of your book, and then you can upload the cover there. Now let me go back really quickly to this. Maybe I don't want to mess it up, because they do have some different things on this page. All right. So if you are printing a paperback book, you can be assigned a free KDB ISBN, or you can have your own ISBN, if you have one. You have to select the publication date, whatever day you choose. They do have your print options here. So what I did was, first, whenever I printed the first copy of my book, I had a white paper and I had a gloss, or I had a matte finish on the book, and I did not like that. So I recommend you kind of choosing a couple different ones, getting some copies, and seeing exactly what you like. So the best one that I chose is the black and white interior with the cream paper. The trim size being 6 by 9 inch, depending on what kind of book you have, but 6 by 9 is a really good size for a book. I put no bleed, and then the paperback cover finish, I chose the glossy. I didn't like the matte. The matte looked like it would scratch up, and it just looked weird. So I like the gloss finish with the cream paper. I would suggest those. All right, so right here you're going to upload your paperback manuscript. So this is what I was talking about. They recommend you use a PDF file, which you can just save it as a PDF file from a doc file, or if you have like a pages file, you can save that as, or export that as a PDF file. The next thing you want to do is upload your cover. Like I said, the cover that I had made, this is the cover right here, and they go ahead and they put the barcode on there as well as the ISBN number. And you know, the way that they have the book is they have the front cover and the back cover all on one file. So if you do get this design right here, they will make that design for you, and you can give them, you know, all they want to know when you are making your book is how many pages the book is, so that way they can get the dimensions correct on the cover. So you tell them it's a 6 by 9 cover, and you know you've got 100 pages, and they will tell you that. So you can launch the previewer, and when you go to the preview, it's very important to look at what the book is actually going to look like, because when they print this book off, it is going to look exactly how you told. So this is the back of my book. You can see this right here is the side of the book. That's very important to make sure that the picture and stuff fits within it. So what they did was they kind of faded off the corner so that it could expand. If I want to write a little bit more, or if I had more pages, I could expand it, and it wouldn't necessarily get take away from the front cover of the book. So you can move this around, make sure everything looks good, make sure it's very high quality, and different things like that. And you can actually go through the entire range of the book. Now, my book is just 72 pages, not that long. So you know, you can go through here and make sure you don't have any blank pages. You know, make sure everything looks good. Make sure that the words are all on the page. Make sure it looks exactly how you want it to be. They do show it with the cream cover or the cream pages, and different things like that. All right, the last thing you want to do is you can save and continue. I didn't change anything, so I'm okay with that. So this is the final part of your book. So you can tell Amazon where you want your book available. So I want it available in all territories with worldwide rights. You can go in here and look at your pricing. So it will tell you how much it costs to print, what the rate is, and how much your royalty will be, which with each book that you sell. Also, you can expand it to different marketplaces, online retailers, libraries, different things like that, and you can sell it and make a little bit less on the royalty. Also, you can put it in other marketplaces as well, like the UK, France, Spain, different places, so that it is available, like I said, worldwide. Now, all you have to do right here, you can request proofs of your book, so you only have to pay the printing cost of it. So right now, the printing cost of this book is $2.15, and I can get that. I can get copies for $2.15. Now, when they send them to you, they'll be not available for resales. You can't actually sell those proofs, but you can order author copies. You know, if you want to give them to people and different things like that, you can order them at a reduced rate. So all that's left to do is you click publish your paperback book, and boom, you are done, and you have published a book. All right, that's going to be it for today, guys. I really appreciate you guys for watching. Again, I want you to pick up my book if you have time, have a chance. It's a very quick read. It's not that long, but it's has some really cool content in it. I think you're going to get something out of it by reading it. And I will see you guys on the next one. If you like these types of videos, like, share, subscribe, send to your friends, send to your family, post it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that. See you guys on the next one.